Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Storm the Court podcast. I'm Zane Ellis, and what a night we just had at Madison Square Garden. The New York Knicks took down the Miami Heat, 116-95, and I don't want to overreact, but Mikal Bridges is playing like a man possessed. I'm seriously starting to think he might be the most underrated player in the league right now. So, let's dive into the game recap. The Knicks were hot right from the start, trailing only in the first quarter before they exploded in the second and third. They completely outscored the Heat, and by the end of the game it wasn't even close. What was wild was the Knicks scored 41 points in the third quarter alone. 41. That's the kind of outburst that makes teams shudder, leaving the Heat scratching their heads and wondering just where it all went wrong. That game was a roller coaster of emotions, from excitement to frustration to disbelief. The Knicks fans were right on the edge of their seats, and you could almost feel the "we want the young guys to play" vibes from the crowd. I mean, there were murmurs about getting Kolek more minutes. Shout out to him for coming in and showing some flashes, though it's clear the fans wanted more from Thibs. He's got to evolve. Now let's get into some performances. Mikal Bridges led the Knicks with 28 points on a blistering 71% shooting, including 4 for 6 from deep. He also grabbed a couple of boards and dished out 3 assists. Karl-Anthony Towns added 23 points and contributed solidly on the boards, while Josh Hart was everywhere, totaling 12 points, 13 rebounds, and 11 assists. A triple-double in a regular season game? That's just a Tuesday for him. On the Heat side, it was a rough night. Tyler Herro managed to drop 20 points, but it was a quiet echo of what we know he's capable of. His efficiency was kind of lacking tonight. Duncan Robinson showed up with 22 points but couldn't find any rhythm until it was way too late. The -16, yikes! Their defensive rotations looked like they were in quicksand. Bam Adebayo just couldn't make the impact he's known for, missing easy buckets and spending time in foul trouble. Now for some gut feel analysis. It's time to talk about the implications. The Knicks are starting to find their groove, and if they can keep this intensity up, we're looking at a team that could make some noise in the playoffs. And hey, might we see them challenging for a higher seed? The bottom line is the vibes in New York are electrifying. Their fans believe again. The Heat, though, they need to regroup, pivot, and figure out what it's going to take to snap out of this funk before it's too late. Honestly, I'm not mad at the Heat. They just can't seem to get it together right now. But just imagine if they pull it together and clinch a playoff spot. Before we wrap up, I gotta touch on the possible narratives here. What if Mikal Bridges keeps this level of performance? The way he's playing, he could be in the conversation for most improved player. Call me crazy, but I think he's on the verge of stardom, and the Knicks will need him to continue flourishing if they want a shot at the postseason. All right, folks, until next time, this is Zane Ellis signing off from the Storm the Court podcast. Keep storming that court, and let's hope for some exciting matchups ahead.